This is the last thing I'm ever gonna say about PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds until they get this shit fixed.
I need rings, Super Bowl sides. I need a fine dime with some Super Bowl thighs. You say you the truth, that's a Super Bowl lie. I flex on a nigga like a super swole guy. You come into the squad and you super gon' die. I make it look easy and I super don't try. It's funny, everybody always looking up to me, but I've always been a super short guy. Bye.
Boo! Boo! Boo!
Thanks, Phil. It's an honor to be here at E3 and represent 3 years of engineering
3 years.
the team has done.
3 years.
Xbox One X. From the beginning, our focus on game creators and you, the gamer.
The gamer.
3 big goals we needed
Us.
to hit.
3 big goals.
Power,
What were they? Power.
Compatibility.
Yup.
And craftsmanship. Let's talk power.
Let's talk power.
The specs. 6 teraflop GPU clocked at 1.172 gigahertz. 12 gigabytes of GDDR5 memory. And 326 gigabytes per second of memory bandwidth.
Awesome. Awesome.
These are impressive numbers that are more powerful than any other console on every dimension. Because that's what it takes to give game creators the power they need so you can experience true 4K resolution, 4K textures, and 4K assets in your living room.
True 4K. Yep.
And when we say true 4K, we mean 8 million pixels, high dynamic range, wide color gamut, premium sound like Dolby Atmos, and 4K UHD Blu-ray playback.
When we first heard this, we all thought, oh my god, look at all that power. How can one man have all that power? What are we gonna do with all that power? The world's most powerful console. What limit can be reached? Where does it stop? The sky is the fucking limit. Have you guys seen the trailer for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds for the Xbox One? What a blatant fucking lie.
Thanks for flying Unknown Air. We have a fully booked flight this afternoon. As all 100 of you approach your...
So let's pause right here. This is still an early access game, right? The game is still an early preview, game preview, whatever else. They need more time to work on it. They'll fix it. It's still in early access. It's not a complete product yet. Okay, perfectly fine, right? Let's say that's the case. Let's say I accept that. Let's say that the community accepts that fucking excuse. So, you have time to make a fucking commercial for the Xbox version and a high production one too. It's a nice little. They got people there. It looks good, HD, everything else. But you tell me you still need time for to fix the fucking game. But you had time to put out bullshit like this. Fuck that shit. Let's continue.
Final destination. You will notice your numbers will start to dwindle quite rapidly. To better prepare you for deplaning, we ask that you review the safety information card. Once you've landed, you'll find transportation gear and weapons have been provided for you. You may also notice the lethal blue containment wall has been activated. So, if it's your first time flying with us, or you're one of our frequent flyers, we want to leave you with a friendly reminder. If you are not first, you're dead last.
Now, for the people who don't know about this game, who are unenlightened, let me show you how this shit really looks when you drop down to that zone.
To get the most accurate results. So this is kind of like the starting point of the game, the lobby. So I would say it's not exactly the most attractive way to kick off the experience.
Yeah, what a first impression, right? Right away, 20 frames per second under that on the original Xbox One, and look at those textures, things are definitely not being managed well on the memory front. You can clearly see Xbox One X is actually pushing out better looking textures if we're taking things on the visual front. But as
is it? And as we segue into the initial landing part of the game, then nothing really improves here. It's looking absolutely dreadful. I've seen it dip as low as 4 frames per second. There's a massive stutter when you start the game on base hardware. Though it does reach 30 frames per second at points, but there's a kind of multitude of bottlenecks happening here, and performance can just vary dramatically. So here we're trying out just driving about in a Jeep, and you can see a big differential in frame rates between the Xbox One X and the base hardware. I mean,
No one man should have all that power.
readings earlier, it was a bit of a mess, and at best we're looking at 30 FPS, and it isn't exactly impressive from a visual standpoint. So from my perspective, it's actually really disappointing that we're getting this kind of turnout when you've got that much talent apparently involved with the game.
No one man should have all that power.
Alright, so enough with the comparisons, right? We all know, everybody who's real with themselves knows, this game looks and runs terribly, and it should have never released on the console in such a state, and its state is released now. It is Xbox fault, it is Bluehole's fault, the developer behind PUBG. It's everybody involved here's fault, right? They had time, think about that. They had time to make a high production commercial. That shit ain't cheap. Advertising's fucking expensive. So they had the time, money, and resources to make this commercial to make everybody out there aware that this game is on their console, and the game is still in fucking preview, early access. It's still a work in progress, guys. Well, don't make a fucking commercial like that for it then. If it's fucking early access, that shit is just an excuse for them to say, so people can't hold them to the higher standard that they need to be held to, and it's fucking working. As most of you know, I am part of the Broadband Boys, which was started by Next Gen 720. There's a bunch of people in it. It's a bunch of gamers, a bunch of Xbox guys, some PS4 guys, yada. And I'm going to argue with them. Most of them seem to be okay with the fact that this game is released in the state, and they're saying shit like, oh, that's how early access is. It's just fun, you know? What's the big deal? We are getting back and forth here, and I'm starting to question the integrity of the Broadband Boys. I'm talking about Next Gen 720. I'm talking about Mighty Must MM2K. I'm talking about the real Maslin. Anybody else who was in that little post with me. If you guys really are okay with this shit, with this shit that's below mediocrity, and you guys are not real yourselves, man. I hate the fanboy shit, and right now, on the Broadband Bully side, they are praising this game. Fuck that! They are wrong, and I don't know if they're being real about it, or if it's just because it's just on the Xbox brand, and they're trying to make Xbox look good. This shit cannot be defended. It's hitting 4 frames at times. Even worse yet, the Broadband Boys are playing this game saying, oh, I'm not experiencing frame drops. That's just what happened on my console. Come on, man. Come on, be real. Are we not all playing on the Xbox One X? Yes, it is. If you play on the Xbox One S, it's even worse. So be real. Stop trying to damage control this shit. Stop trying to be an Uncle Tom. Stop trying to defend this brand so much. They have been fucking up this whole generation, and they are fucking up now. Everyone has their own preference. Everybody has their own console, their platform that they prefer to play on over another one. Just the way it is. Everybody has a preferred console. You know, I prefer a console, and it has always been the Xbox console. But I said something in the group text we were talking about earlier to the Broadband Boys. I said, you know, okay, we're gonna have an argument, a show about this. It's gonna be me versus how many people will get about why this is bad or why this is good for gaming, yada yada. And I said, okay, I'll be Team Consumer. You guys be Team Xbox. And people in the chat said, what does that mean, Team Consumer? The fact that I gotta say that. The fact Team Consumer means the person, the gamer who is in it for the best value for the money, the best experience for me personally, the best experience overall, the best for gamers as a whole. This game is a colossal fail. It is a huge fuck up. It is a blatant smack to the face of every Xbox owner that is currently out there, especially the X-owners. You Broadband Bullies, you guys are praising the fact that they're putting this into a bundle with the Xbox One X. Oh, really? So we all bought the game already, right? They sold what? It's not a million copies. They sold what? Close to 1 million copies in the first 3 days. 3 days after the game releases, they say, oh, guess what? It's going to be bundled with the Xbox One X one. Why the fuck did they say that from the beginning? You don't think a lot of people might have held off and bought the Xbox One X to get this game? No, because they want to get all that fucking day 1 money or day 2 money up front, the initial sales of that fucking game, because they're greedy as fuck. So let's say they announced the bundle from the beginning, everybody knew about that. They can still get fucked with that shit. The Xbox One X is $500, so you're going to give me a $30 unfinished preview game to incentivize me to buy your premium console, the world's most powerful console, it came to hold a fucking steady 30 frames per fucking second for this piece of shit game?
That is blasphemous. That is blasphemous.
No! Fuck Microsoft, man. Fuck Xbox Division. Fuck that. They are fucking tripping out. How about this, Microsoft? How about the people who bought your Xbox One X day one? Why don't they get free code for this shit? The early adopters, right? The people who support this piece of shit console from the beginning. Why not that, huh? Because Microsoft don't give a fuck about us. What did we get for buying the Xbox One X day one? What did we get for supporting this shit early? Oh, we got what? Batman Legos 4K movie, 4K Blu-ray. Fuck yourself! Are you fucking kidding me? So to boil it all down here, guys, you got the world's most powerful console running their flagship game, and make no mistake, this is their flagship game. It's all the fuck they have right now. This is the only game of the generation that I could say might push more consoles for them, and it's the only game of this generation that people are going to know them for. They're like, oh, PUBG, oh, it's on Xbox, right? All little kids and shit like that, people in their teens, they're all going to remember, oh, I'm playing PUBG on Xbox. This is their genre, this is their console-defining game for this generation. Make no mistake about that. And the shit is running subpar, below standards, below mediocrity, and it's fucking hitting 4 frames a time. It is damn near unplayable, even when it does hit 30 frames. All the fucking popping, and the draw distances, and everything else is fucking ridiculous. And people are saying, oh, well, it's fun. Not for me. Not when I'm getting a fucking headache. This game is an FPS or a third-person shooter, if you want to look at it that way. It's both those things at once, kinda. The controls are god-awful, but in a game like this that requires accurate aiming and precision movement and quick reflexes, and the shit is fucking stuttering frames the whole time, that is unacceptable. And for you guys saying, oh, it's still fun for me, you can never, ever talk about another game, indie game, Nintendo game, whatever have you, running terribly, and people say it's fun, because people say Nintendo games are fun all the time. They go, oh, that game's trash, that game can't hit 20 frames, that game, Nintendo is hitting goddamn steady at 60 FPS on a lot of their games, 1080p, on that weak-ass hardware. It's crazy, guys. I seriously, I can't handle it. I cannot handle the level of stupidity, the level, like my boy Ryan Professional says, the retardedness, the retardation. It is, I don't like to say that word, but it is goddamn true. These people are accepting whatever the fuck is handed to them. And people like you and the broadband bullies who support this shit, you are part of the fucking problem and why this shit will never get any better. That is you guys. We have the world's most powerful console, and this thing is still shipping controllers with AA fucking batteries, man. For the world's most powerful console, I've seen the light concerning Xbox. They don't give a fuck, man. I thought Nintendo didn't care at times, but Xbox, they are starting to take the fucking cake, man. I'll tell you what, it is sad.
The trusted power. Inside of the power. Helping to power the most powerful console ever powered.
Uncompromised. How many times do they say it? They said that over and over again. And I cannot find the goddamn clip of Phil Spencer saying this. So I don't know where the fuck it's at, but it's fucking there somewhere. And everybody here knows exactly what the fuck I'm talking about when I'm saying uncompromised true 4K. And the broadband bullies were telling me, and other people in the game community, my chat, whoever else, oh, turn off your game DVR and install it to an SSD. And apparently, it'll hit better frame rates, etc. The game will run better if you do these two things. That sounds kind of so. I gotta disable one thing to get one thing running better. I gotta give up one thing to get the results for another. What's the word for that? I can't think of it. That's a compromise, right? That sounds like a pretty big goddamn compromise for a console that was advertised as no compromise. What the fuck do you mean I gotta turn off game DVR to get this game to fucking run better? Fuck that shit. I'm not doing that. I'm not playing this fucking game with these developers on Microsoft and all the fucking Xbox fanboys. Fuck that shit. This game is trash the way it sits now. Anyways, that's it, guys. This is truly the last video I'm going to make on PUBG until they put out some big patch and it's running better. Maybe it's running steady 30 FPS. It's going to take something big for them to patch it for me to talk about it again. I'm not playing it. The game is garbage, man. Truth be told, Fortnite is way fucking better in this game. Way fucking better. I know they ripped off PUBG's design and everything, but it's way fucking better. It runs flawlessly for the most part. Their servers don't fucking... I'm not going to get into the whole thing. You guys know what I'm talking about here. Anyway. I'm not going to enjoy this video, like, you know, all that shit. Love you guys. Talk to you guys next time. Thanks.
Xbox One X and the base hardware. I mean, it's, 5, 6, 7 frames per second here. Now, you'll note that I'm bringing up, in the base Xbox One area, I'm bringing up the map quite often. This is because we kind of want to know where we're going. But in the gameplay areas, yeah, you can see those parallel lines as performance is just so much better on the Xbox One X.